Welcome to HealTalk Tuesdays with Liza, where transformation begins as we evoke, embrace, and evolve.
What if I told you the most important voices in your life influencing you still today is of your father, even if you haven't heard it in years? And think about that. Perhaps your father is here with you or he is absent. Because no matter what, there has always been a father figure in your life. I am certain of that because perhaps you haven't even spoken to him in years and maybe you didn't even know him. But there is a certain thing that if you close your eyes, you can either see him or feel him or know and remember his voice. When I think about my father, I can't help but remember growing up myself. Growing up in Iran, my father was everything to me. I was like his little duckling, always following him everywhere. He was like a hero to me, the person that I looked up to. Being an only child, he was the main male figure. But more than that, it was my grandfather. You know, my home was a disciplinarian and my grandfather was my safe haven. And the thing about it was that he was in our life from the time that I grew up, right? From the time I was a little girl. And their house was very much attached to our house. So every time I wanted to, all I had to do is cross our balcony and go to Grandma and Grandpa's house. So Grandma and Grandpa were my main figure of growing up, my foundation, my validation. And every time Mom and Dad were not there, it was Grandma and Grandpa who helped me become strong. 3 years old, we would go to the summer house and everything. When I was 3 years old, I recall my father going to the Caspian Sea, and literally he just picked up this little girl and went into the ocean to swim, and he took me with him. Of course, I don't remember, but I remember because of the pictures we have and the family saying it, and he just dropped me in the ocean and just placed his hand underneath my tummy so that I can swim. And of course, he would just hold on to my back and everything. And I learned how to swim in the ocean from the time I was 3 years old. I guess that's why today, no matter what waves come into my life, I know how to ride it. I know how to go over it and duck the wave and go underneath long enough so the waves go over. So what it taught me was caution, being cautious, and being courageous. He taught me, he didn't teach me being afraid, but he taught me how to trust. And he taught me how to feel confident so that I can tackle things. And he taught me to, instead of standing on the shore, why don't you just jump in? And that's exactly what I learned. Grandpa was my safe haven, whereas my father was the one who taught me how to be bold and independent and strong, because he also taught me the value of hard work. He had such hard work and responsibility and personal ethics and values. He believed in reputation is worth more than money, and character, strong character, solid character, and integrity. And that's what I grew up with. So being grateful to what I have today. My foundation from the men, the people who just molded me and said, do the right thing. And there was one more thing. He would always say, "Baroye ki, baroye chi." What for, who for? That means, who are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Who are you doing it for? Does that make sense? Does it have a value either for them or for you? Because it was not being a people pleaser, but if you are doing it, who is it pleasing? That's the important thing. It's like, bring value to whatever it is that you are doing. Those are the messages I grew up with, and messages that became part of my inner voice. So my question to you is, who shaped you? Who shaped your values and beliefs? Messages that influenced how you see yourself and the world around you. If there was a foundation, because understanding that all these messages, his voice, his messages, the way everything that there was, is just like our subconscious, because our subconscious listens, records, every experience gets deposited in our subconscious mind. Every compliment, every criticism, every moment of feeling, because when you are seen, it is embedded. Every moment of feeling invisible. So it is the good, the bad, the right, the wrong, every part of it. When you come to believe in something, is it you are believing that you matter, or you are unworthy? Are you capable or incapable? How did you see your father figure? Was he the strength, or was he the weakness? Was he the weakest link, or was he just the dominant part in your household? Did you fear your father, or did you respect your father? Those are the foundations that shape us. Because every experience that you have experienced growing up, and it doesn't have to be your father, it can be a father figure. Or if you are married, is your husband the exemplary father figure, or the harsh father figure, the strong father figure, the one that your children depend on? Or do they call you versus calling him? So those are the things. What gifts did my father give me? The strengths that I inherited, because he was not perfect. He was perfect when I was growing up, but he was not the perfect when I was in my teens. And here's one thing I can say. The things that he taught me was so valuable of who I have become today. Maybe it's not in the millions, it's the $1 million messages that I learned from him. And I remember this. When I was 19 years old and I wanted to buy my car, and the car that I wanted, not the car that they gave me, right? Because he gave me the safest car in his idea, strong. The first car that I had was a Camaro, 1974, secondhand Camaro, full blast, powerhouse. Exactly what I wanted. I grew up like a tomboy. There was nothing I would not go up. I would go up on a tree, on the walls, and that's why I got spanked a lot by my mother, which was the real disciplinarian. And my father would say, let her go, let her experience, let her fall, let her experience what fall is. Back to the car. When I came home, because my boyfriend had a 280ZX, and I got rid of the car, not the first one, the second one that my mom got me, which was very safe, a Toyota hatchback, and I traded that car to get the car that I wanted, the 280ZX Nissan, because I wanted the power car. And I walked in the house and my father saw that, and he looked at me, because at that time I was working. I started working from the time I was 16 years old. I've always been working when I was 16. And he saw that and he looked at me and said, "Who's gonna pay for that?" And I said, "I will." "Who's gonna pay for the gas?" "I will." And I was about 19 years old. And he said, "Okay, I'll take care of the insurance. You take care of everything." And I said, "Okay." So you know what he did? He shook hands with me. It was like a business deal. Is learn to take responsibility of the choices that you make. You did that, you pay for it. You stand up for it. And that's the promise. And since then, no one has stood in front of me and say, "You are not allowed to have this or that." They may question it, but never said, "You can't." That was embedded in my subconscious from being a little girl, thrown in the ocean, growing up, making a pact with my father, making a decision. And he was not the lovey-dovey, but I knew I was loved. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. Do we yearn respect? Whose respect? What part of your foundation is the strength? And if it wasn't strong, how can you make it stronger? If there was a voice that growing up, he would always say, "Who for, what for?" And if I took that in a negative way today, as an adult, I turn it and make it my way, which is, I made it. Who for? Me. What for? To make a bigger impact in the lives of others. The work that I do has the masculine and the feminine energy, because I can be strong and hold space for my client, for you, and yet have the compassionate part of me, being that feminine energy that I can have and share and exude, because healing is both. Is realizing that we have the masculine and feminine energy within us. Our body is exactly that. That's why you go and exercise to become strong, to develop strength, to develop your body to be strong so you can lift the weight, to have your muscles become stronger, and yet have the flow and the energy within you to be fluid and flowy and feminine. That's what shapes us. Knowing there's love, there's compassion, there's expression, and your work ethics, your values, when you stand up for who you are, that's what matters. When you say, "I matter," that's what matters. Because no matter what we look up to, it's this person right here that looks up to you. How are you validating, strengthening, and shaking hands with, and or loving and hugging and saying, "You matter. I matter"? Every time I think of my father, it's not the negatives, but who I have become because of him, my grandfather, the men in my life, those who I have been in relationship with. Yes, because each and every masculine energy that has been part of me has taught me something. And again, not all perfect, because I have gone through my own challenges. We all have. That said, I came across this beautiful quotes. You know, I love quotes. I love stories. Everything in our life is a story. Our clients are stories. The people we associate with are stories. And this, I'm reading for you. Your subconscious mind has the answer. If you are confronted with a problem and you cannot see an immediate answer, assume that your subconscious has the solution and it is waiting to reveal it to you. If an answer does not come, turn the problem over to your deeper mind prior to sleep. Keep on turning your request over to your subconscious until the answer comes to you, for it has been awaiting you. The response will be a certain feeling, an inner awareness, whereby you know what to do. Guidance in all things comes as the still, small voice within. It reveals all as God points to you. And that was from Bryan Adams' How to Succeed. Success, love, perseverance, everything is within you. All I do is guide you through the journey of how to heal within. Hi, Mark. Hello. And thank you for being part of my HealTalk Tuesdays. Please do share, like, and if there is a message, by all means, leave a message for me. I always answer my questions, messages, and comments. Please also go to my YouTube channel, Liza Boubari, on YouTube, and subscribe and help me share the messages with more people. So until next week, celebrating or not. Hi, Jana. Know that you have always been loved and protected. God bless you, and may the universal light surround you always. Hi, Mariette. Hi, Ani. Thank you, Ani John. And I look forward to seeing you all. Stay tuned. More to come. Bye-bye.